Hello there. Welcome to the weekly William Shave. You may wonder why the camera angle is so funny. I'm going to try to show you at the sink level how I lather Williams. And then I'll move the camera up to shave. So what I've got, I start out soaking my puck of Williams. If you look, I soak it, I bury it, I drown that puck. There's a puck of Williams in there, but it's drowned in water. And a lot of times I soak my brush with it. Sometimes I don't. This puck's been soaking for a couple of hours because this is a puck that I've been using. It's not as dehydrated as a new puck is. So I'll just kind of shake that out. Let me set this down. And you're going to see the sink view now. And I hope that you can see what's going on. But I'm going to sit, kind of shake that out a bit. And what I'll do is I've got a bowl over here that's got hot water in it because I want this container to be warm. So I want my lather to be warm. So I'm going to let that soak up just for a few seconds, and I'm going to pour, well, I dropped my Williams in the sink. It happens. Not a problem. But I'm going to pour that water out, and I'm going to take this water, this brush, hopefully you can see, and you see it's still dripping. This is basically the Marco method, if you guys are familiar with that. I'm going to take this, and now you notice, see that puck is moving around in there? It don't make a dime's worth of difference. Everybody says they can't lather on that. That's not a problem. Give me a break. It's not that easy. But if you look, or it's not that hard rather, but if you look at how sudsy that soap is. What you're doing, if you can hear it, you hear that? It's starting to get kind of sticky. See how the lather's changing? See how the lather's starting to get a bit of a shine on it? Let that stuff go. Don't worry about it being sudsy. Don't worry about anything. You're going to beat this until you beat the bubbles out of it. See how nice and shiny that's getting? See that? That's what you want. Now, I'm going to add, I've not done this before. I don't need it. This method right here will get you a nice stable lather with Williams just fine. But anyway, let me transfer this to a bowl and I'll finish what I was saying. I'm going to empty that bowl out, and there'll be a little bit of residual moisture left in that bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this lather to a bowl, to this bowl. I'm going to get it all. And I'm going to set that aside. Now, I'm going to start beating the living snot out of this soap. And the thing is, with Mitchell's, with Williams, these two soaps they're not the same. Please understand that, in my opinion, I love Williams, but and here I'm going to get me some water in my brush. I love Williams, but Mitchell's is a superior soap to almost anything that I can think of. But they're similar in a way because they like a lot of water. Now, I started out with a ton of water. Now I'm going to beat this lather until it starts getting that sheen on it that it had in the proto lather, and I start feeling it. A lot of what you need to understand is that lathering isn't just about what you do and what you see in the bowl. It's also about feel. You can feel when the lather starts to thicken up now. That's going to be a beautiful lather. Now what I'm going to do, I don't normally have to. I've never done this before. That lather will be nice and stable. But I'm going to add, and I'm done, so I'm going to set this camera up to its normal standard position. So bear with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glycerin. I've never done this before, but I've read on many of the shave forums and seen on a couple of videos that people say that adding glycerin to a shave soap like Williams helps the lather to stabilize. Well, that lather right there is not going to need this. It's just not. But I want to see if there's any difference at all in the way the lather feels, in the way it performs, in the way my face feels after, and just see. And I'm just going to add 2 or 3 little drops of this glycerin. 2 is what I'm going to put in here. Into this. 2 little drops of glycerin. Might not be enough, I don't know, but I'm going to add that. And I'm going to mix that up just a hair, just to see. I just want to know if this is something to think about doing. You know, some of you guys that are having difficulty, because I got to tell you, just like Mitchell's Wool Fat, this soap is probably going to be picky about your water quality. So if you got hard water, you're probably going to have a lot harder time lathering Williams mug soap or Mitchell's Wool Fat, either one. So okay, I've mixed that up a little. What I'm going to do, let me dry my hands. The razor we're going to be using is my Gillette Long Comb New, and I've got a Dorco 300. This will be the 4th shave on this blade. I'm pushing my blades a bit to try to see if anything has changed. I've discussed it before. Oh yeah. If anything has changed in during the time that I've been shaving, and if that will result in me getting a bit more use out of my blade. So I can tell you that I don't really feel any difference in that lather. With the addition of the glycerin. But if you remember, if you paid attention there when I was lathering the Williams, once I soak that brush in the hot water, warm water in my lather bowl, I did not shake that brush out. I used Excuse me a minute, I got a little bit of lather on my computer. I used that brush is wet as it came from the bowl. That's a key thing with Williams, is you gotta understand that soaps that you would think, most soaps you would think, well, that's way too much water. And Williams is not gonna, it's gonna be a soapy, sudsy mess. Well, you gotta beat the suds out of it and let it get nice and creamy and thick. Dadgummit. I love that. Let it get nice and thick and creamy. By beating it. Now, if you notice, once again, I like a lather that's really well hydrated. Most guys would say that lather is too thin. That's just right for me, because it's going to give me a wonderful amount of slickness, and to me, that's the most important thing in a lather, for my preference, is slickness. I want it slick. I want the razor to glide over my skin really, really easily. Because, in my opinion, what that does for me is means that there's less chance that the blade is going to dig in and cut me. Now, I know that a lot of DE shavers, and even some straight shavers, look a really more of a pasty consistency. Paul H., who is basically just a DE shaver, DEs, SEs, that kind of thing, safety razor shaver. I don't think I've ever seen him use a straight. He likes a really, to me, I'm not picking on you, Paul. I love you. You know, you are one of the guys. Man, that's slick. You are one of the guys. But see, I can't say that that's due to that glycerin, because I get really, really slick lather with Williams all the time anyway, because my lather is hydrated that well. It just is. So, but I'm not picking on you, Paul. That's your lather. It's whatever we like. You know, some of us like a thicker or a drier type of lather than others, and that's okay. That is what traditional shaving is all about, is your mileage, what you want. But I like a thinner lather, and it came from straight for me. I just feel safer using a straight razor if my lather's good and slick. And so I tend to not worry. See, to me, cushion, I don't value really a lot of thickness and stiffness, and and lather. I really think that's overrated. If you think about it, I don't really see that protecting you. If the thickness of a lather is protecting you from a blade, then what it's doing is it's keeping that blade from touching your face, and you want that blade to cut close to the skin. That's the deal. So I just don't see where a thick pasty kind of lather is going to protect me. My opinion is that it's the slickness. But like I said, that's just me. I'm not saying I'm right. What I'm saying is I'm right for me. What I want, what I like, what I believe works, and what I believe is most important. Got a little nick there with that blade that time. That's the 4 shaves. These are usually one and done for me, and I've got 4 out of it, so not bad. But I did pick up a little weeper on the 4th shave. So is that the blade? Well, yeah, I think it is. One of the things that I'm doing by testing these blades is I'm kind of feeling, but that's a really close shave, man. But I'm kind of feeling how the blade feels on my face, and I can tell you that I can get 4 good shaves out of this razor blade, but I don't like the feel of it on my face as well, and I can't really tell you what that means. That's best I can do, is I really don't like the feel of this blade on my face after about 4 shaves. So, but anyway, and for the brush, I use my 1460. My Semogue 1460, and I don't need a touch-up. That's how close that was. So I think I'll try number 5. And for an aftershave, what I'm using tonight is witch hazel. This is mostly witch hazel. It's got about a tablespoon of mineral oil, about at least an ounce, probably more, of aloe vera gel. About 200 drops of lemon essential oil. That's to a 16-ounce container of witch hazel that I poured into here. And 10 drops of glycerin, something like that. You need to shake it up so that it all mixes well together. And I just put the glycerin in here. I've been using this without the glycerin. I want to see what difference the glycerin will make in this as well. But it's a nice lemon scent. It's so far it has been really, really good on my face. It's what I do. I've got a bit of redness along here. I can't imagine that witch hazel would be anything but good for that. Sorry. My opinion. But it's just got a lovely lemon scent. I think that the glycerin actually pumped the lemon scent up a bit in this. I'm not sure. It may just be that it's been sitting for 3 weeks and it's gotten better, you know, as it's set. I don't know, but lovely, wonderful feel to the face. And I really recommend something like that. I only use it usually if I'm going to use a eau de toilette or a perfume or a cologne or something like that, and I don't want an aftershave with a scent. But I'm not doing anything, not going anywhere, and I just got the glycerin today, and I wanted to add it to this and just see what I thought of it. Actually, the glycerin made a heck of a difference in the way that it feels. Just lovely. All right, that's the shave. I hope that this helps you with lathering Williams. You need to understand something else about lathering soaps, even if you've done this a while. When I first started lathering soap, when I first started using a brush and soap, I started out with a Vanderhagen kit and a Vanderhagen Deluxe soap. And that soap is really like dead simple to lather. But I had problems with it big time. I couldn't get a decent lather out of that soap for nothing in the world. I got a fading lather. I got a thin lather. I couldn't get a good lather out of it. And I went online and I went to all the shave forums and I followed all the shave tutorials for lathering soap. I went on the internet, on the YouTube, and I tried every video I saw that talked about lathering, and I followed all the instructions, did everything the way that they said to do it, and I still could not get a decent lather out of the soap. So what I did was I opened up a brand new puck, plopped it down in a bowl, and I stood at my sink and I lathered for 2 or 3 solid hours until I got a really good hang and my lather started looking the way it was supposed to, the way that I wanted it. And then I lathered for about an hour more to make absolutely certain that I knew what I was doing. Because lather, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, lather is also about feel, and I can't teach you feel in a video, and I can't teach you feel on a printed page. I can't really describe for you what the brush feels like, but in my hands at least, when I lather a puck of soap, when I bowl lather, I can feel the bristles of that brush like they were an extension of my hand. And I can feel when the lather starts to tighten up. I can feel when it starts to end up where it's going to be what I think of as right. And that's just something that's the same with like the proto lather. You know, I can feel when the brush has got enough lather in it to build lather in a bowl. But it comes from feel. And it's something you have to learn. And with soap like Williams, that's a challenge to lather, even for guys that do it all the time. Sometimes, you know, that's another factor of it, you know, and you're just going to have to, you know, you can take all my advice and the advice of everybody, all the guys on YouTube that show Williams lather tutorials. You can go online to all the shaving forums and follow everybody's advice to the letter, and you'll still struggle a little bit until you get your feel for what Williams is doing and what feels right. So, but I hope that what I just showed you will help you deal with Williams a little bit better. All right. Thanks for joining me and subscribing and commenting, and just I really appreciate you guys that are, you know who you are, that are loyal to my channel and loyal to my videos, to me, and it means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless you. Later.